What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Smitty. We're in the process of working on L2theW's 700 R4, and today we're going to do some little things. It's little things that make all the big things work, you know. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put together our servos. We need to remove the pin out of this 1-2 accumulator. We're going to put a pinless piston in there. That's what these are here, a pinless accumulator piston. And we need to put our forward accumulator back together, and we're going to put a pinless one in there. As you can see, the pin's already out of that one. And we need to put our 2-4 servo together and get that all set up, because then we need to take and put this in the case and check for leaks. We got to do a wet air test on it, which basically means you put fluid in it and blah 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 blah. So anyway, I guess let's start with the 1-2 accumulator. So let's get set up. You know, if you guys like what you see, make sure to hit that like button. It's the one down there in the corner. Subscribe for me if you would, and share it with your friends. You know, get them involved too. I really appreciate it. So anyway, yeah, let's get going. All right, I'm gonna suggest on this 1-2 accumulator, since you got to knock the pin out of it, you need to get yourself a piece of cardboard or a block of wood. That way you don't mar up this finish here. Doesn't get a crappy seal. Get a punch about the same size as the pin. It doesn't have to be exact. Just knock that dude loose. It'll come the rest of the way out. Most of these that you can see wear pretty bad right here, and so the piston will wobble on it and it'll leak. Alright, since we now have a hole in there, we need to put a couple of check balls in there to keep it from leaking, and that is in this kit. And they give you two different sizes, so whichever one fits in the hole. That one's a little snug. Let's see what that one does. That one just falls right through it. So we'll take the bigger of the two. Give it a good old smackarooski. I'd say that'll do. Just smack you one of them check balls down in there, and you can see it on the other side too. I don't know if Sonnax tells you to put both of those in there. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, it just says one of the steel balls. So then there is two different spots for each seal. One of these, interesting. That's funny. Alright, so I looked at these and it says one of them PTFE, or the Teflon seals. They go on one part of the piston, but what they did is they put both the rubber ones in one package and both the Teflon ones in the other package. So we're just going to grab one of these seals out of here, and we'll put the other Teflon one in this bag, because we're not ready for that piston yet. And they want this They call it a rubber D ring. So it actually looks like a D if you were to cross section it. But they want that one to go at the bottom in that groove. And then they want the Teflon one to go at the top. Or PTFE, or whatever they call it. Just gently kind of stretch it over there. There we go, just like that. Sonnax makes some really nice stuff, guys and gals. I'm definitely impressed with their quality of their stuff. Alright, let's give it a little bit of love here. Just make sure it's not dry. There we go. Now if you've got this thing sealed up, when you put some air to it, you shouldn't hear anything. Yeah, it blows it right out of there. Yep, it's good to go. So this one here will get this purple spring right here. Gives an extra valve body clip, it looks like, in there, so we'll just stick that. But anyway, that goes right in there, and being as that sticks up above the housing, that's going to be pretty tight. That'll be a good first, second gear. So that's done. Alright, next let's do the forward. And so same thing, we got a drive check ball in the bottom of it. I don't know if it's going to take the big ones or little ones. Yeah, it's definitely going to take the big one again. So same thing, get that dude in that hole and give her a couple of whacks. I think we're going to grab the old vise here. And our soft jaw adapters. So as not to damage it. And one of these days I'll tell you all why I haven't bolted this down, but not right now. Good enough. You see it's down in there. See it peak on the back side of that hole. Alright, now we do the same thing with this piston. Same thing. Rubber seal on the butt end. And your Teflon seal at the top. Just like that. Alright, this one we'll replace with the factory spring. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Same thing, lube up the bore. Lube up your piston. Put that dude back in there. Man, that slides in there nice. Put your spring back in there. And then your cover. I think the later model ones are supposed to have a cast iron cover on it. Oh, this one had aluminum. So that's what we're going to put back in it. If it broke for some reason, we could do that without even taking the transmission out, so. Alright, now we need to put our valves back in there. We took them out to clean them. Alright, so I got the valves laid out here the way they're supposed to go. So you basically got two different size holes, obviously, and the valves only go in one way. So on these, you don't want to put transgel on these. Just dip it in some fluid and let it rip in the bore. And this one's got a yellow spring that goes in there, and then it's got a little plunger that goes on top. Kind of like that, little triangle looking plunger. So once you get that in there, push it down with a screwdriver or something. Take your small roll pin. Usually I just start them in there. Push that down, slide your roll pin in. Make sure that that roll pin's flush with that surface so you don't damage anything. And it'll stick out the other side, which is fine. Same thing on your other valve. To put in some fluid. Slide that dude in there. Put your spring in there. Well, this one's a little more tricky because you got to get that spring down in there at the same time. If you can find a bigger screwdriver that'll expand, spread that gap, what I'm trying to say, it works a little better. Kind of like enough that you can get the roll pin started above that spring. Then you can push it in, push the spring down enough that you can get the roll pin all the way through there, kind of like that. And there you go. So that dude's back together. Pretty simple. The only thing I didn't do is torque these bolts, which are like 106 inch-pounds, which I guess this is my 106 inch-pound. So I thought it was my other one, the other one's at work. So you basically just want to make sure that it's 106 inch-pounds. That one's good. That one's good. Not much head of the bolt to grab hold of, but so this dude is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this bag right here that this came out of, and we're going to stick it in this bag. We need a bigger bag, don't we? What's cool is I get these from work, because it seems like a lot of our parts for the 6L80s will come in these bags like this. Which I don't care if it says it's made in Ireland, I'm sure half the stuff is. So we'll put these three in there with these three bolts, because these bolts is what holds that on. We'll throw them in there. Close that dude up, and that's ready for install. But this way it'll keep it clean until we're ready for it. Okay, let's do the Ford, or not Ford. Let's do our servo, 2/4 servo. And we're going to put these other two check balls in this bag with the other check balls. Now, the Sonnax kit gives you the neoprene check balls to go back in it. So you want to make sure to avoid trying to use some lube on these, because it'll take forever to drop. Alright, the servo. We are putting a Corvette servo in this one. And if he wants it to shift harder, we'll put a super servo in it, but for right now. Alright, so we need to put the spring together. So we're going to grab our vise again. We need this spring, or this cover, this spring, and then the spring cover. Alright, then you're going to need your snap ring. Should be that one right there, yep. And so I usually put that dude in there first. Compress your spring and everything till you get enough that you can see the snap ring groove. Sometimes they can fight you, y'all, so just be patient. Get your fingers in the right spot and hold your tongue just right. Then all of a sudden, boom, it'll go in. Just like that. Okay, that's done. So you can we'll get the vise out of the way again. Okay, that's not the spring I'm looking for. Gotta find our small spring for the pin. And there should be an E-clip that goes with it. We're gonna need this anyway, so we can hold the servo in. There's the E-clip right down there. There's your E-clip for your servo, your pin. Now there should be a washer and a spring. So we need to find the washer and the spring. There's the spring right there. And I think I remember seeing the washer in here too. Yep, there it is right there. All right, there's your washer. So now let's put your pin in. Pin goes through from this side. Like that. And your spring goes on. Then your washer. And then your E-clip. Kind of like that. And see, that acts as a cushion. Alright. Now, Sonnax gives you rubber seals to use in place of the Teflon ones that they give you with the kits. So hopefully they've got one for this Corvette servo. Got about all different sizes, that's for sure. Be careful not to roll these, because then that defeats the purpose of the D seal. Okay, there's one. There's number 2. That's your 4th seal. Okay. Now, you get your other 2 seals. In your kit, and they color code them so you can figure out which one goes where. That's your cover seal, and that's your piston seal. So it goes here. Alright, now you get that up. Let's lube up the seals. We're just going to lube that one for just a second. Ooh, that's going to be nice and tight. Good and tight. I like it. Alright, then your 4th pistons are going to go on top of that. Like so. Then we got the cover that goes over the top of that. So we're basically ready to stick this in there. And we need this spring here. So that's your return spring. Alright. That servo is assembled and ready to go in. Alright, got your cover here. Blue one goes on the cover. Alright, let's put this dude in the case so we can do our air checks. Alright, so get yourself a little gel and do the inside of this housing here. You know, sometimes the finger works better than anything. You can actually feel what you're coating and get your mind out of the gutter. This is supposed to be friendly. All right, so we got that in there. We're going to go ahead and coat the outside of the seals. That's good enough. Doesn't need a whole lot. Put that dude in there. Man, I've never had one slide in that easy. Again, get your mind out of the gutter. Get your cover in there. Got my cover all dirty. I don't like that. What did I do? I see. It just fits the dang tight. There we go. All right. Just like that. Okay, y'all, one thing that you want to check, and this is per the Sonnax manual too, there is an orifice bleed right there, and there is a, you shouldn't have any air leaking out of this hole here, and you shouldn't have any leaking around the pin. So when you apply the pin, I'm going in the second hole, which second gear is right here. That right there is second. You got third in this hole right there. Right there in that deal. And then there's fourth right there. So when you put air to this, and that pin comes out, you shouldn't have any air leaking out of any of those holes in there. And this is second. The only reason why you're hearing air is because it's leaking around my nozzle tip. But it's nice and tight. When I checked in there, there's nothing coming out of those holes. So the 2.4 servo is good to go. Said, I think I've about rambled enough on this video, so we got to do the little things to get to the bigger things to get them done. So we did the accumulator and the Ford servo, and so now we're just waiting on the little stuff. We'll do the valve body modifications here before too long, and we'll get the pump modified. I'm still waiting on a ply ring that I ordered. I had to get it from GM, and with all the storms that were going up north at the time I ordered it, it got put on the Never Never Land truck. So still waiting on it coming in so I can put together the input housing. But we'll get the rest of it done while we wait. So that being said, I hope you all liked the video. Make sure to smash that like button down there. It's the one with a thumbs up. And there's a subscribe button down there also. Smash that dude for me. Make sure to tell your friends and share it with everybody. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks y'all for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Y'all take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless you, and God bless America. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.